St. Kitts Prime Minister defends Cuban healthcare program amidst U.S. allegations. Welcome to your week in review here on WINN FM 98.9 for the period March 10th through 15th. Making the news last week, crime rate falls as St. Kitts Nevis focuses on citizen security. St. Kitts and Nevis poised for renewable energy revolution with implementation of smart meter and feed-in tariff policy. Now, the details. In a broadcast on March 14, 2025, Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew firmly defended St. Kitts and Nevis's relationship with Cuba and its program of hosting Cuban healthcare professionals, while also reaffirming the nation's commitment to international partnerships and sovereignty. This response comes in the wake of allegations by the U.S. concerning the treatment of Cuban medical personnel working within the Federation and the broader Caribbean region. Dr. Drew emphasized that St. Kitts and Nevis remains
principled and respectful relations with all nations, including the Republic of Cuba and the United States of America,
highlighting the deep intertwining of lives, histories, and futures with these nations. Prime Minister Drew underscored St. Kitts and Nevis's long-standing commitment to peace and multilateralism, framing their foreign policy as one guided by respect, cooperation, and adherence to the rule of law. He noted Cuba's crucial role in the Caribbean and advocated for its integration into hemispheric development initiatives for the benefit of all.
Cuba has been an indispensable partner to the Caribbean, and we believe its full integration into hemispheric development initiatives benefits all. A stronger, more prosperous Cuba is in the best interest of the Americas and the Caribbean, enhancing our collective security and sustainability.
Dr. Drew also acknowledged the United States as an invaluable development partner, expressing gratitude for their contributions and a commitment to strengthening that relationship. The Prime Minister personally attested to the benefits derived from the relationship with Cuba, citing his educational experiences as an example of the positive impact of this partnership.
Many of us in St. Kitts and Nevis and across the Caribbean have benefited immensely from the opportunities provided by Cuba. I, like so many of my fellow citizens, had the privilege of receiving a first-class education in Cuba. Additionally, I had the opportunity to pursue specialization studies in the United States of America.
The Prime Minister emphasized how these relationships have contributed to the socio-economic and political development of the region, proving that coexistence between nations with differing viewpoints is possible and beneficial. Since 2003, Cuban professionals have been welcomed in St. Kitts and Nevis, becoming integral in building a healthier and more resilient nation. Addressing the allegations directly, Prime Minister Drew was emphatic in his assertion that Cuban professionals in St. Kitts and Nevis are treated with dignity, fairness, and respect. He clarified the conditions under which these professionals work.
Cuban professionals in St. Kitts and Nevis are treated with dignity, fairness, and respect. They are provided with comfortable housing at the expense of the government. They receive compensation commensurate with the well-established and statutorily approved government pay scale for professionals with similar expertise. They retain their passports, are free to travel, have vacation leave, work standard hours, and enjoy working conditions equivalent to those of local professionals.
Dr. Drew unequivocally stated that St. Kitts and Nevis values its relationship with both Cuba and the United States, positioning the nation as a friend to all and an enemy to none, while remaining a staunch advocate for human and labor rights. Prime Minister Drew concluded by calling for dialogue between Cuba, the United States, and CARICOM, urging a spirit of mutual respect to address shared challenges such as economic stability, healthcare, and security. He argued that cooperation is essential for progress, while isolation and confrontation will only exacerbate existing struggles. The Prime Minister affirmed that St. Kitts and Nevis, as a sovereign nation, will continue to make decisions that align with the best interests of its people, guided by principles, justice, and national sovereignty.
Until then, St. Kitts and Nevis, as a sovereign nation, will always make decisions that align with the best interests of our people. Our policies are shaped by our principles, our commitment to justice, and our unwavering dedication to upholding our national sovereignty.
Outside of the issues with the Cuban workforce in the region, an article in the New York Times published on March 14, 2025 stated that the Trump administration is considering targeting the citizens of as many as 43 countries as part of a new ban on travel to the United States, which includes 6 countries in the Caribbean. There are 3 lists, red, orange, and yellow. The red list bars 11 countries' entry into the U.S. outright and includes Cuba and Venezuela. The orange list, which includes Haiti, requires an in-person interview to be granted a visa for entry into the U.S. St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, and Dominica are included in the yellow list of 22 countries that the U.S. says has 60 days to address perceived discrepancies, including, quote, failing to share with the United States information about incoming travelers, purportedly inadequate security practices for issuing passports, or the selling of citizenship to people from banned countries, which could serve as a loophole around the restrictions, end quote. More on this developing story in later reports.
Investment migration professionals, citizenship by investment, CBI international marketing agents, ministers responsible for CBI across the region, and other stakeholders are preparing for the 2025 Caribbean Investment Summit, CIS 25, in Antigua and Barbuda from April 22 to 26, 2025. The summit will be held at the American University of Antigua. The Caribbean Investment Summit, CIS 25, is being hosted at a defining moment in CBI history. The Caribbean has been at a critical juncture, wrestling with the need for collective action to maintain integrity and credibility within the citizenship by investment CBI programs. One of the most prevalent issues plaguing Caribbean CBIs had been underselling, where citizenship was offered to prospective citizens at prices below the legally mandated thresholds. Therefore, to standardize practices and improve transparency, 5 Caribbean nations signed a memorandum of agreement. The nations committed to enhancing their due diligence framework, improving risk-sharing arrangements, and strengthening regulatory oversight to elevate the Caribbean's CBI programs. Calvin St. Just, Executive Chairman of the Board of Governors, Citizenship by Investment Unit St. Kitts and Nevis, confirmed that the Federation will be represented at the summit. St. Just anticipates that the summit will be transformative and redefine the Caribbean's investment landscape.
St. Kitts and Nevis has been a trailblazer in the citizenship by investment industry, setting benchmarks for transparency, integrity, and innovation. As I join the Caribbean Investment Summit community for the first time, I see a valuable opportunity not only to learn from key stakeholders, but also to drive meaningful discussions that will shape the industry's future. This event offers a valuable opportunity to gain insight into today's investors' priority, whether global mobility, wealth preservation, or sustainable investment, while also fostering discussions on geopolitical and economic shifts shaping the CBI landscape, enabling proactive adoption.
CBI stakeholders believe that a shift in the CBI landscape lies in adaptation and innovation under more robust regional standards. Therefore, at CIS 25, integrity, stability, and sustainability in the CBI industry are expected to be at the forefront of the discussions. Participants will engage in workshops and meetings discussing several key topics, including regional standards and regulatory alignment, united frameworks for program governance, enhanced due diligence protocols, market integration and sustainability, cross-border program coordination, financial sector harmonization, economic innovation and growth, strategic development opportunities, and technology-driven solutions. The discussions will likely enhance investor confidence, drive innovation, explore new pathways to economic prosperity, and set new global criteria for the industry. Meanwhile, on April 24, 2025, the inaugural Caribbean CBI Excellence Awards, regarded as the Caribbean's boldest innovation in citizenship investment, is scheduled to be held. Some power players in the CBI industry will be taking home awards for their varying contributions to the industry.
As March unfolds and global attention remains on women's rights, the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis has reaffirmed its commitment to gender equality across the hemisphere. Government officials have made strides in promoting gender equality and ensuring that women are at the forefront of national development initiatives.
St. Kitts and Nevis is a firm proponent of the empowerment and advancement of women, young women, and girls, ensuring that we all enjoy the rights, opportunities, and liberties to reach our full potential, free from discrimination and for the corresponding benefits this inspires for our communities and our world. St. Kitts and Nevis readily associates itself with the statement on behalf of CARICOM by the distinguished permanent representative of Barbados, but wanted to speak specifically to the commitment of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis to gender equality, which is not merely rhetorical, but backed by tangible policies, programs, and initiatives that create an enabling environment for women and girls to thrive.
Jacinth Henry Martin, Ambassador and Permanent Representative of St. Kitts and Nevis to the Organization of American States, highlighted Project Viola during the OAS International Women's Day celebration.
My delegation is proud to highlight some of our best practices. Our Project Viola Teen Mothers program, recognized by UNICEF as a best practice in the region for eliminating educational disruptions faced by teenage mothers, is one standout example. A federal cabinet decision mandates that teenage mothers be allowed to return to school after giving birth, ensuring they continue their education and are not permanently disadvantaged by a disruption in their broadest development. The Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs, through the Department of Gender Affairs, leads the implementation of this program.
She described the initiative as a key government program aimed at supporting women and girls, particularly teenage mothers, by providing them with mentorship opportunities and resources to develop their skill set.
To enhance its impact, the ministry has expanded Project Viola to include a shadow mentorship component, which pairs teen mothers with women professionals in fields of interest, exposing them to career opportunities from a vantage point aimed at inspiring them to dream and to soar. Additionally, the program integrates personal and familial capacity building training, coupled with wrap-around social services, fostering holistic support for young mothers. Another impactful initiative is the Women's Employment, Entrepreneurship, and Financial Inclusion Project.
On Wednesday, March 12, representatives from various OAS member states gathered at the Halls of the Americas in Washington, D.C. to recognize the contributions of women across the hemisphere. During the event, Ambassador Henry Martin reaffirmed the Federation's commitment to fostering an environment of equality throughout the region.
Led by the Department of Gender Affairs with support from UNESCO, a monitoring, evaluation, and learning framework is being developed to track progress and impact. Additionally, with the collaboration of CARICOM and the Caribbean Development Bank, data collection processes and institutional capacity are being strengthened to support the effective implementation of this framework. Distinguished Chair, Excellencies, in commemorating International Women's Day, St. Kitts and Nevis reaffirms our unwavering commitment to a hemisphere where equality is not just an aspiration, but a lived reality.
The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank is collaborating with the government to enhance financial literacy among young people in the Federation through the Aspire program. This initiative aims to equip students and teachers with essential financial knowledge in an evolving global environment. Sybil Welch, Senior Project Specialist at the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, provided an overview of the bank's role in supporting financial education within schools.
So we had a meeting, what we call a train the trainers with the teachers. Very exciting to get them to recognize that discussing money matters with our young children. It's so important, but it is so much fun. Mm-hmm. You know, we had the teachers go through some of the modules, and they were so excited. They were like,
so they were receptive.
Yes. Can we start? When can we start?
Yeah, they want to do it themselves.
They want to do it themselves, and
yes.
so we're arming them with the tools, and we're doing the mentoring and the coaching with them, so that they themselves, when you reach to the teachers now, they're going to reach to the whole community.
Okay.
And then we have one with Washi Archibald High School this Thursday, another Train the Trainers. And so we are going to go to Nevis next with 2 schools. So we're trying to do at least 2. We know this is a tight term. It's sports term.
Because it's sports and
then exams.
And stuff.
So we're going to do 2 schools to start in St. Kitts and 2 schools to start in Nevis. And then have a bigger rollout the next school term. But at least to make a start. And you reach children, you reach their parents.
In November, the government passed the Achieving Success Through Personal Investment, Resources and Education Aspire Bill, laying the foundation for every child who is a citizen of the Federation to receive EC $1,000 or US $369 under this initiative.
If you can get a child to talk about things in the language of a child, in the experiences of a child, and then you can then say, they go home to their parents. So when we're doing games about, like The Price is Right, I'm sure many times children ask parents to buy this, buy that, and they don't know the cost. But if you start to introduce them to the cost of things, the next time they ask their parents to buy that, and then you look at the options. You can have this or you can have that.
Under this initiative, $500 will be deposited into a savings account, accruing interest until the child turns 18, and also $500 will be invested in shares, fostering early exposure to wealth-building strategies. During her appearance on WINN FM's Money Matters program, Welch discussed the key financial challenges faced by the people of St. Kitts and Nevis.
What are the biggest gaps you see in financial education in St. Kitts and Nevis?
I think it's explaining the why.
Okay.
I think that a lot of times, and it's at the household level, we learn finances at the household level. So it's explaining the why. Why am I buying this and why am I not buying that? So when a child asks, and it's also of setting family goals. Because if you don't have a goal for your money, money will find a goal for itself.
Amen.
So if you don't if you don't have those discussions around the table, this year is our financial goal. What every year there has to be a financial goal discussion at the table. Whether it is putting a down payment for land, for house, a vacation, simple things like how much money are we putting on food, on furniture, on electricity, on water, so that if I know, listen, last month the electricity was 130 and we said we don't want it to go above 100, then turn off the lights, turn off the fan when we're not using it. All of these things are important. Unplug. We can't, let's make our own pizza instead of going out and buying. Let's Google and find the recipe. Let's make our own burgers rather than going and buying every week. There are simple things. Let's pop some popcorn and just take a walk and have some family time. All of these things allow everyone to be actively responsible for those goals. And when persons get a child, it's one of my things I always say, a child grows out of clothes so very fast. It makes no sense to pick up an outfit for $150.
Oh, you're preaching to the Jordans.
That the child will only wear. And then when they get to church, it's a striptease because the child is hot.
Exactly.
So it makes no sense to put on the child with all of these coats and jackets and stockings, and it's only going to irritate the child. And so the best thing to do is to put that money on an account.
Amen.
And every month, whether it's $10, so that when the child gets to an age and say, I want to go to CFBC or I want to go to college overseas, you can say, I have something, whether it is an annuity that you pay with an insurance or whether it is something that you put together and save. One fills basket.
Additionally, conversations are emerging about the financial responsibilities children should assume once they begin working.
Yeah.
But it is about giving back. And I think in doing that, when we recognize that it's so important to give back and we don't just get, what can I get? And I think that is part of where we tend to understand that it's in that giving that we build each other up.
Under the theme Accelerate Action, the St. Kitts-based Breast Cancer Foundation Essence of Hope held an International Women's Day affair dubbed Seeds of Joy on March 8, 2025 at the St. Kitts Marriott Royal Ballroom. Pam Hendrickson, Essence of Hope president, speaking to WINN FM post-event, emphasized that Seeds of Joy was a call to action. She said that women merging their power can make a difference, starting with the seeds planted today.
On International Women's Day 2025, we came together to plant seeds of joy, seeds of resilience, empowerment, and hope. This wasn't just a celebration, it was a call to action. As women, we are defying fear, self-doubt, and limitations, and accelerating towards a brighter future. Remember, a single tree stands out, but an entire forest changes the landscape. Let's keep planting, nurturing, and growing together.
Seeds of Joy had a fusion of local talent, culture, and brilliance. Attendees were greeted at the entrance with the soothing, live steel pan music by local pianist Yazid Francis, and later a mesmerizing dance performance by Synergy Movements, a soulful spoken word performance by Brianda Harvey, and a melodic musical rendition by Jewel Watley. The event also featured keynote speaker Ms. Nikira Nichols, who delivered a compelling and insightful presentation about the transformative power of joy and how it can serve as a catalyst for action. The content and delivery of her message resonated with the audience and contributed meaningfully to the theme. Nichols implored the audience to come together to create the change they would like to see. The event served as a backdrop for reflection, networking, and connection. Attendees were engaged in an interactive session, sharing stories, goals, and ideas for accelerating action within their lives and society. Host Mrs. Belisa McDonald-Donata told attendees that whilst celebrating seeds of joy, which are resilience, health, and empowerment, it is also important to accelerate those seeds into action, ensuring they grow into tangible change in their communities, careers, and personal lives. Attendees were gifted fruit and vegetable seedlings, compliments the Department of Agriculture, symbolizing a renewed purpose and a commitment to growing seeds of joy and accelerating action.
The crime rate in St. Kitts and Nevis has seen positive shifts, particularly in homicides. The Honorable Senator Iseline Phillip, Minister of Social Development and Gender Affairs, Youth Empowerment, Aging and Disabilities, addressed the plans for the Citizen Security Secretariat and highlighted the reduction in homicides compared to the same period in 2024. Minister Phillip outlined the government's approach to citizen security, emphasizing community engagement and a public health strategy.
In relation to citizen security and the Advisory Council and our plans in regards to that. So the question, of course, in relation to the reduction in homicides and the fact that we haven't seen any, as the Prime Minister said, I believe is attributed to a combination of things, not only the efforts from national security in relation to law enforcement and criminal justice, but of course because of the response that we've been getting and the efforts we're really making to engage with the community, which is what we're really trying to do through citizen security. By making sure that we have very strong community engagement. So we do have all hands on deck and everybody taking responsibility for making sure that we can, in fact, create peaceful and safe societies and communities.
The government plans to continue re-engaging communities and addressing their expressed needs.
In terms of plans moving forward, we would have launched the 90-day campaign last year to where we started, and we went into the communities for community conversations to get everybody involved and sharing their own views. We do plan to continue this year by re-engaging the communities in a different way, where we hope to really be able to be responsive to some of the needs that the communities expressed.
The Citizen Security Secretariat aims to work closely with national security to identify hotspots for criminal activity. The Ministry of Education will also be a key partner in applying a public health approach to interrupt the transmission of violence among at-risk youth.
Of course, we want to continue working very closely with national security because they do have the information and data as to which communities and which areas are hotspots for criminal activity and have more of a proclivity towards violence. And we want to also continue with the partnerships with the Ministry of Education because, of course, as the Prime Minister says, in terms of applying the public health approach, we do need to be able to interrupt the transmission of violence where it starts, and it's among our at-risk youth and children. And so we want to make sure that we can strengthen the partnerships with the Ministry of Education by being able to continue with data collection, which is very important, so that we really understand the issues and the challenges and the problems so that we can, in fact, create interventions.
Minister Phillip emphasized the importance of empowering non-governmental agencies and involving all citizens in supporting these efforts.
And we want to be able to continue creating interventions in partnership with the communities, with the private sector, with all citizens, and also to be able to empower non-governmental agencies to be on board in supporting the efforts. This is really definitely most literally an all of society approach. And that is really what we will be consistently pushing and pressing as we continue the work of citizen security while national security continues its work with law enforcement.
The creation of a Citizen Security Secretariat in St. Kitts and Nevis emphasizes a comprehensive approach to citizen safety and well-being. As it relates to crime statistics, reported crimes decreased by 11% in 2024 compared to 2023, with major crimes down in almost every category. Homicides decreased from 31 to 28, representing a 10% reduction. Firearm-related offenses experienced a significant 39% reduction from 31 to 19. Other decreases include malicious damage, which reduced by 30%, bodily harm and wounding, which fell 11% from 161 to 144, larcenies decreased by 12%, break-ins reduced by 1%, and drug possession saw a 5% reduction. There was a slight increase in sexual offenses, up 6% from 68 to 72, and robberies up 8% from 39 to 42. A significant accomplishment was the resolution of 16 of the 28 homicides recorded in 2024, with the remaining cases under investigation. The Honorable Conress Maynard, Minister of Public Infrastructure, Energy and Utilities, Domestic Transport, Information, Communication and Technology and Posts, announced transformative advancements in the energy sector of St. Kitts and Nevis. Key among these developments are the deployment of new smart meters by the St. Kitts Electricity Company Limited, SCELEC, and the imminent unveiling of a feed-in tariff policy, which will pave the way for a renewable energy revolution within the Federation. Minister Maynard emphasized the multifaceted benefits of the new smart meters during the March 6, 2025 Prime Minister's press conference.
Right. So the new meters are going to be transformational for our energy sector in a number of ways. In terms of a technical viewpoint, I mentioned some of them before. We will now be able to view everything that is happening with the energy going in and out of your house. So if you say something is happening at your property, everything will be able to be recorded. These are smart meters, and so they now can be controlled from a control center and observed from a control center. So billing can be more regular, and it's going to be completely accurate. So we will eliminate the issues of errors associated with reading the meters.
The suggested enhanced monitoring capability promises to streamline billing processes and improve accuracy, eliminating discrepancies associated with traditional meter reading methods. The forthcoming feed-in tariff policy incentivizes residential investment in renewable energy sources, allowing homeowners to generate electricity and sell that energy to SCELEC.
I think the Prime Minister wants me especially to talk about the fact that very shortly we should be unveiling our feed-in tariff policy, which will mean that you can invest in renewable energy products at your home, whether it is even a small wind turbine or whether it is solar panels, and you can get into an agreement with SCELEC to produce energy for SCELEC. You sell all of it to SCELEC. That is the particular framework we're looking at. And then you will buy the remainder from SCELEC. So it's quite possible you can sell more than you ever need to buy, so you don't have a bill.
The initiative aims to empower citizens to participate actively in the nation's energy production while potentially reducing or eliminating their electricity bills. The smart meters are crucial to the success of the feed-in tariff policy. They enable accurate recording and monitoring of energy exchange between households and the grid.
And so this meter will allow for us to be able to do that and record it properly and observe everything associated with your renewable energy setup.
Furthermore, these meters will empower consumers to manage their electricity consumption effectively.
Also, of course, the new meter will allow you to manage your electricity bill even better, because you can decide that this month I'm going to put, if you have a prepaid arrangement, there will be a possibility of a prepaid and postpaid arrangement, just like your mobile phone. You will decide if you want to put on $100 this month, and you manage that how that $100 is used. You will be able to obviously get alerts and follow as to where that is, so you can actually see your usage over time and understand what you need to disconnect, connect in your house to be able to manage your energy usage effectively.
With the rollout of the smart meters slated for 2025, St. Kitts and Nevis is poised to undergo a significant transformation in its energy landscape.
So this will help Skelec, obviously. There will be no need to disconnect anyone because you will be in complete control of your energy. You can decide when it goes on, when it goes off. That's all up to you. So there are many advantages to this AMI. And as I said, we're now well advanced in this. The rollout is going to be this year. And so it will coincide with your now ability to sell a certain amount of energy to the grid and be part of the renewable energy revolution that is going to be taking place in our federation.
Implementing these technologies promises to enhance energy efficiency, promote sustainability, and empower citizens to play a more active role in the nation's energy future.
The Caribbean Community, CARICOM, is celebrating the appointment of Albert Ramdin as the new Secretary General of the Organization of American States. St. Kitts and Nevis used the platform of the 56th General Assembly to call for necessary reforms within the organization. In his address on Monday afternoon, Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Denzel Douglas congratulated Ramdin, a diplomat from Suriname, on becoming the first Caribbean national to hold a distinguished position.
Your ascension to this eminent position, Minister Ramdin, it comes at a pivotal crossroad in the history of our hemisphere, demanding bold leadership, unwavering determination, and a very clear vision to navigate the converging crises that challenge our own collective prosperity and stability.
With Ramdin set to assume office later this month, Dr. Douglas underscored the significance of this leadership transition.
For decades, the OAS has been a steadfast guardian of democracy, guardian of human rights, multidimensional security, and integral development throughout the Americas.
Dr. Douglas emphasized that Ramdin's leadership must be guided by a strong mandate to reinvigorate the OAS's mission, enhance its impact, and ensure that it remains a beacon of hope, prosperity, and unity for all member states.
But with shifting political realities, the organization must evolve to maintain in its relevance and capacity to drive transformative progress by becoming more agile and adaptable, leveraging its political influence to tackle emerging challenges while promoting inclusive and meaningful engagement.
While the OAS has played a critical role in the hemisphere, the Washington-based body has faced criticism over the years for its stance on certain issues. Dr. Douglas urged the organization to evolve in response to shifting political realities. Ramdin assumes leadership at a time when small island states in the region are grappling with existential threats. Dr. Douglas highlighted these challenges in his remarks.
Mr. Chair, the challenges before us, they are complex and multifaceted. From climate change and security threats to social inequality and economic instability. Addressing these issues demands collective solutions and greater cooperation among member states. We therefore look to our new leadership to drive a results-oriented agenda, one that delivers tangible solutions and fosters lasting change. St. Kitts and Nevis stands committed to working towards advancing a more integrated and prosperous hemisphere. As we strive to become a sustainable island state, our priorities must remain clear: advocating for climate justice, empowering our young people, strengthening educational opportunities, and enhancing regional security while championing democratic governance and upholding human rights.
Dr. Douglas also underscored the disproportionate burden that small island developing states bear due to climate change, stressing the urgency for action.
It is undeniable, that small island developing states continue to shoulder a disproportionate burden of climate change, and the urgency for action has never been starker. We call upon the OAS to play a more prominent leadership role In advocating tangible support for adaptation and resilience building efforts, we are recognizing that this crisis demands joint and concerted action to mitigate the devastating effects and safeguard the future of generations to come.
He also spoke on the issue of Haiti.
At the heart of our regional security concerns is the imperative to finally right the historic wrongs levied on our sister nation, Haiti. Haiti continues to endure overwhelming political upheaval, economic desperation, and a worsening security crisis that has caused unspeakable suffering. Rhetoric, it must be replaced urgently by decisive, coordinated, and substantive action. It is the sincere hope of my country that under your leadership, Secretary General-elect Ramdin, the OAS will valiantly work as a leading force for restoring stability, governance, and hope to the Haitian people.
Accidents remain a persistent problem in St. Kitts and Nevis, and traffic officials believe it is time for drivers to show more courtesy on the roadway as the traffic department intensifies its education campaign. The issue has been particularly concerning over the last 13 months, with the Federation reporting more than 1,700 accidents, 1,345 in St. Kitts and 435 in Nevis. Sergeant Sophia Henry, speaking on WINN FM's Island Tip program on Monday, addressed the matter.
These small acts of consideration can make a big difference on the road. Driving is a lot more than the skill it takes to move a car from one place to another. When you earn a driving license, you are getting acceptance to a group of people who all need to work together to keep the road safe and efficient. Courtesy drivers acknowledge that we are all had to start somewhere. Think back to your L-plate days and give learners the breathing space that you would have.
The police force has taken steps to reduce accidents by increasing stop and search operations on bypass roads, which have led to a rise in traffic violations being detected. When asked by WINN FM News about the number of tickets issued this year compared to last year, Henry confirmed an increase.
Yes, we are making progress, although the stats for last year to compare with this year is higher. We are seeing a lot different still.
She revealed that 1,076 tickets were issued between January and February 2024 compared to 1,216 during the same period in 2025. How can discipline and courtesy be instilled in drivers? The traffic department has been working to ensure that safe driving habits starts in schools.
Do you all have programs present or planned to engage with the schools so that our young people can understand not just road courtesy, but also general courtesy, and at the same time identify in a positive way with our uniformed service providers, like police officers and so on? Just a thought.
We do have a program presently, and it's effective. Myself and the officers from the traffic department, we visit the schools in our area. Each school have a liaison officer, but being traffic officers, we more go to the students and try to educate them on the traffic laws and the ways to use the road and road safety, especially for the primary school students. Walks to school.
Do you use the opportunity to try to encourage the children into courtesy generally? Remember, it's going to be difficult to be courteous when you turn on the engine. If you're not courteous before you do that, with what I see on the road every day.
We do go to the schools. We don't only talk to them about the traffic rules or road safety. We try to discipline them, encourage them to be disciplined, well-behaved, and we mostly speak to them to road safety, especially those who walk to school, those who have families that drive them to school. We try to encourage them to encourage their parents or whoever drives them to school to make sure they exercise all the safety precautions in terms of seatbelt, allowing pedestrians to cross when they're driving, So we do set things in place to help the children to be courteous when they use.
It remains to be seen how these changes will impact the Federation's roadways as reckless driving continues to contribute to road fatalities. Back in January, a 4-month-old infant tragically lost his life in an accident. In December, a medical practitioner succumbed to injuries from a traffic accident. Additionally, several people lost their lives in a collision in the New Guinea area last year. The Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force has confirmed that Crown Counsel Chantrice Dorset was granted bail with several conditions following her January arrest. Media inquiries led to the police confirming that Dorset was bailed on February 27th after repeated requests for information. According to the police, the conditions of her bail are as follows. 1. Dorset must report to the Bastard Police Station 3 times per week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. She must surrender all travel documents and is prohibited from attempting to leave the jurisdiction. A stop order has since been placed at all ports in St. Kitts and Nevis. Dorset must reside with her family in Bastille. She is not permitted to have any contact, either directly or indirectly, with any prosecution witness or with Kyron Phillip, B.J. Tuckett, J. Wilkerson, or their associates. Any breach of these conditions will result in the immediate revocation of her bail. Dorset faces charges related to the escape of wanted man Kyron Phillip from the island. Back in January, Director of Public Prosecutions Adlai Smith announced that Dorset was charged with accessory after the fact to murder, attempting to pervert the course of justice by assisting the fugitive in fleeing the Federation to avoid a murder investigation, attempting to pervert the course of justice by helping the fugitive escape to evade a charge of unlawful possession of a firearm, attempting to pervert the course of justice by aiding the fugitive in evading trial for the attempted murder of an individual in an unrelated case, misconduct in public office by advising and counseling the fugitive based on her knowledge as a prosecutor to help him evade the police, and corruption for attempting to use her office as a prosecutor to facilitate the surrender of the firearm used in the murder under an amnesty program. Philip was later arrested in St. Martin.
You were listening to the Week in Review here on WINN FM 98.9. Thank you for listening and have a productive week.